Well, hello and welcome to Understand Men Now. I'm Jonathan Asley of jonathanasley.com, and I'm so excited to be shooting this short video for you today. Our topic, 6 things a woman should never say to a man. Real quickly before I get started, if this content resonates with you and after the end of the video you go, gosh, this guy makes sense and I'd like to talk to him, click the link below to schedule a one-on-one call with me to see if it makes sense working together as your coach. All right, let's just jump in. 6 things a woman should never say to a man. Actually, this is a piggyback to what I've shared in previous videos about things that turn men on, things women should say to men. So let's look at the inverse of that, or the opposite of what you shouldn't say. You know, let's be real. Relationships are very delicate, and sometimes it doesn't take much to trigger a relationship from being really great to really awful really quickly. And couples that know how to navigate, sometimes these little tiny conflicts do really well together. But I'm going to help you mitigate some of these things right from the get-go. So, number one thing that a woman should never say to a man. Now, this one's rather obvious, but I'm going to state it anyway. And I think it's saying the words, I love you. I love you before you're really ready or before they're really ready to accept it. Let me say that again. Before either you're really ready or they're really ready to accept it. I think the term, when we say I love you, you should feel like this is a deep, intimate relationship that has the potential for long-term legs. And by the time you say these words to each other, you should both be wanting to say it to each other. That's not to suggest that a woman can't say it first. I know rule of thumb might suggest that men say it first, but what I'm really here to say is don't say it too soon, and certainly don't say it when they're not ready to receive it or reciprocate it. So that's number one. Number two. This is kind of a tongue-in-cheek one, but I'm sure women have heard this in the past and men have heard the same thing, is, are you wearing that? I know a lot of times women may not like or appreciate the attire a man might wear in his life. I know I have a friend who doesn't really like her boyfriend because he wears Hawaiian shirts all the time. That's his preference, that's his style. When we're saying, are you going to wear that? That's also kind of implying, I don't accept you for who you are. And while there might be some occasions to suggest shifting the outfit for the certain, for maybe the event one might be going to, be careful of the tonality, because in that tone, you're actually turning your partner off. And this is true for men as well. Men saying the same thing to women, that can be a turnoff. So what I encourage is more of a loving way to suggest, hey, we're going to this event tonight, that we're kind of, supposed to be dressed up. I'd love it if my guy was wearing a sexy outfit, that sort of thing. That's not 100% always going to work, but it's certainly something to try, and it's more positive. Okay, number 3. Oh, wait, I have to look at my sheet. So, here's another one. You never romance me anymore. You never romance me anymore. What I don't like about this is, on some level, it's kind of saying you're a victim. Like you had, and I know that's going kind of a stretch, but when I say victim, it's kind of a negativity. It's a complaining. It's saying, I need you to do something for me to feel good. I need you to do something for me to feel good. And what I'd much rather encourage is a we mentality instead of a you mentality. You don't romance me anymore. Well, let me ask you, are you romancing in the relationship? Because if you lead by example, then your partner's going to, hopefully, if you two are aligned with each other, if you're a good fit for one another, you're going to be like a ping pong table. It's your turn, my turn, your turn, my turn, that sort of thing. It's a back and forth volley. But the minute you become accusatory, you're turning someone off and you're making them become defensive. Okay, number 4. Here, let me look at this again. Oh, where are you taking me tonight? This one, again, is another tongue-in-cheek one, but I've seen this happen in some relationships where there's an element of entitlement. Where are you going to take me tonight? In other words, putting all your power with the other person in relationship. And as I said in the previous one, it's looking at it from the perspective of we. You could simply say, hey, where are we going tonight? Where are we going tonight? Or maybe even making the suggestion of where you're going tonight if you're going to be going out together for dinner or drinks or that sort of thing. But the minute you say, where are you taking me? You're saying that someone else is responsible for your happiness, and you're kind of giving your power away when you're not making it inclusive. And it can rub people the wrong way because it can come from a place of entitlement. I'm not saying always, but it can. Okay, number 5. Complaining about your ex, talking about a past relationship and complaining about it. Let me be clear, when one complains and they take no ownership for their part in the failure or ending of the relationship, they are setting themselves up for failure. I know this seems obvious, but you know this. When someone is complaining to you, you see it as a turnoff. So just because complaining might seem like, oh, they're pointing the finger at the other person for the relationship not working out, if they're not taking personal responsibility, that could be a red flag that they're not able to take ownership for their part in any ending of a relationship. So just be wary of that. And please, 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 I want to encourage you not to complain in relationship. Now, this last one I'm going to get into is a very touchy one. And for midlife men in particular, for those of us that are, in our 40s, 50s, and 60s, ED is a fact of life. Okay, the blue pill is something that many men use, myself included. So when there has been an intimate encounter and it has left one unsatisfied, certainly to the point where maybe he didn't get a full erection, to make a phrase something like "it happens to all guys" is such a turnoff to a guy. To hear that you're telling us that all guys experience this, by you even saying that, it's an immediate turnoff. It shrinks us emotionally. We go into shame and fear and anxiety over that, and we just don't want to hear about your past experience with other guys. So I want to encourage you not to say, you could say, hey, we're going to get through this. We're on the same team type of thing, but don't ever say it happens to all guys. Never say that. All right, you got all 6 of those. I hope you found value in this video. I'd like to hear your thoughts about what I shared. Please post a comment below if this resonated with you, if you think it's rubbish, if you think I'm full of shit, I want to hear about it. Again, if you think I can help you in your life, why don't you check out private coaching by clicking the link schedule a one-on-one call with me, or find out about my group called Midlife Love Mastery. The link is right below. Okay, I'm going to sign off this video as I always do, giving you a big, gigantic Jonathan Bear hug if I have your consent. Oh, thank you. Wishing you a wonderful day. Thanks so much. Bye-bye now.